Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. It was another snoozer, another day that just did not give the volatility, especially with my setups. It was just a rough day. I tried to grind it out, get what I could. One mistake in execution cost me a decent day. But one thing I want to point out first is, when you're starting with a small account, you have to be small. You can't think big. You can't think about being perfect. You can't think about or try to compare yourself to what other people are doing. You have to look at your own situation and you have to look at where you are. And a lot of times when we have these small accounts, we're scared to take trades, or we take a trade, our emotions are so wound up that we can't even function, and we end up losing. We're scared of being wrong. We're scared of failure. We're scared of making a mistake. We're scared that we're not going to be perfect. It's just like with me doing this. If I was scared to of not being perfect, I wouldn't even do this, because this is going to show the mistakes that I make every day. It's going to show that the mistakes that a lot of traders who you think are professional, that's been doing it for a long time, we make the same mistakes. The only difference is, as you get further along in your career, you make these mistakes less and less. So I just want you guys to focus on staying small. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to fall in love with being small. And it's a mindset. If you stay small and you focus on being small, and you focus on what's happening now, you focus on perfecting every opportunity that we have in the market, and you focus on every skill that you're going to need to develop to be better in the market, then big is going to come. It's going to follow you. So if you perfect the small and you are consistent in doing what you can with what you have, big is going to follow you. You're going to blow up. I'm a living, breathing example of that. And that's what I want to demonstrate to you with this account. I had the wrong focus when I started the first time, and I apologize for that, but I had gotten so into what I was doing now that I forgot about what got me there. And I forgot that I need to keep that mentality, because if I don't, I'm going to start going backwards. And there were times where I did start going backwards. So I can't stress that enough. We have to stay small, and we have to perfect the small first. And once we do that, the big is going to follow. And that's why I always say, we need to trade for skill. If we trade for skill and we perfect our skill, the money's going to come. The money's going to be there. So we'll look at the first trade I took today was on AA. And you can see that we made 40 bucks on it. And like I said, we got to perfect small. And we have to take advantage of the moves that we do have in here and that we do get. So this is one of the strategies that I've been working on, so that I could take advantage of these moves that happen intraday, and that I can take advantage of these reversal trades that really aren't setting up. They may hit the scan, but the chart is not telling me that it's setting up. And AA was one of them. So I was watching this and tried to reverse here, but it failed. And once it failed, I went ahead and took it, because here's the level of support down here that I was looking for. And So I got in up here. I got in here at 28.29. This was, I think, 27.93 or 27.92, somewhere in there. And that's where I was looking for it to fade to. Now I know this isn't a big move, but like I said, we're looking for solid setups, and we're trying to take what the market is giving us. We're not chasing it. We're letting it come to us, and we're taking what it's giving us. And that's what, this move was about. But it defended pretty well when it got down here to 28. So I ended up taking it off here at 28.09. And, in this case, that was the right thing to do because it turned around and stopped out here. So that was, a decent gain. $40, and you subtract your commissions. That wasn't a bad hit. So the next one was CRM. And this one really looked good. And you'll see here, what I was looking for was, where is it? It rejected up here, and it started rolling over. So as I was looking at this, I noticed that this stock looked pretty weak. I mean, it really looked weak to me. So I waited for it to lose this level here, this 27.64 level. And as soon as we lost that, I went ahead and got short, risking on this level. So I got in on CRM here at 72.59. I only took 100 shares, but this was about 60 or 70 cents that we could have gotten on this. So that's not bad. $60, $70 on 100 shares. This is how you grow your account. And I'll explain that to you in a minute. But I got in here, got a nice entry, and I had a real tight stop. It was about 10 cents. I could have let it go. That I wanted to let it go. 10 cents here, but I had a 60 or 70 cent profit. But you can see how this thing started trading sideways. Right here, this started looking bullish here because we were making higher lows. But the only thing that got me was we were making lower highs. So when that happens, that can mean that it's bearish. So I held on to it. It never pushed the 9 right here. And that's what I was using as my guide. So we did get a little fail here. And you can see how long I sat here and waited. This thing consolidated forever. And once we got a quick pop down, I went ahead and took it off. I had held through all of this. You're talking about from 11 o'clock to almost 12:30. And that's a long time to be in a trade like this. So I went ahead and took it off. Even though we never lost the 9, I went ahead and took it off about 10 cents away. And you can see what happened later on after I took it off. We consolidated a little bit more. Then we finally got to the 27.12, which was my target, and got all the way down to 72, which was my ultimate target. I wanted to see it test 72. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do, exactly the plan that I posted in chat. But not having the patience to just hold on. And again, you have to make a decision in this case. If something is consolidating like this, and as soon as I get a pop down, I'm going to take it, because what I've seen in the past is this thing turning around and running back up. So I had to make a decision. I was 20 cents up. I was already 2-1 on the trade. So it made sense for me to go ahead and take profit here. And that's what I did. That one was just a little bit less. But here's my thinking. If I get 3 $40 trades, I made about $100 on the day minus commissions. Close to it anyway. So, and I'm looking at, if I average $100 a week, $100 a day on average. Not that I make $100 a day, but at the end of the week, if I average $100 a day and I got 500 at the end of the week, that's an extra $3,000 of buying power I start the week out with, the next week out with. So if I had 1,500 to start this week, well, I had a little bit more because I did make some last week, and I get 500, then that puts me at 2,000, which I have $12,000 in buying power. So instead of taking 100 shares on CRM, I might have been able to take 150 shares. And then the next week I could take 200 shares. And then this small move here turns into a solid move. And this really would have been solid, but I made a decision, and I err on the side of caution pretty much on all the decisions that I make. And I think that's what saved me and what got me to where I am. So, don't feel bad about that. So that was CRM. MBLY was another good look, but I really botched this trade up because I'm not good at I'm not a person that uses hard stops. So when I got in this trade, something came up. I had to get away from my computer for a while. And because this doesn't have a lot of volume, you could get a big buyer and run this up pretty quick. So I don't like leaving myself exposed. So I was going to put a stop order in. And let me show you what it looks like. So I was going to do a buy stop. And this is how it comes up. There's a limit price, and I do a market because I don't want it to jump over my limit price and not fill. Or I could do a range, but I just do a market to be on the safe side to make sure it hits. So when you do market, it takes the limit price off, and all you do is type in the trigger price. Well, Smart Me typed in the same price that was here, and this is the price that it's trading at right now. So when I typed in my stop, I typed in the exact price that the stock was trading at. So when I clicked OK, it took me out of the position. It stopped me out immediately because I put the wrong price in. So that's what happened here. And, I ended up losing a couple cents on the trade, but when you add commissions to it, that was a nice little hit. So I immediately reset and got back in because we were still holding below this 36.29 level, which is what I based this trade off of. This was another one that was, washing out. It looked weak. It lost this level. The 9 was trending down. So I'm looking at this to fade some more. And I think the next support on this one was 37.56. So we had a nice window to make some decent profit on this. But I messed up with the stop here. So I got back in here at 38.25. And I ended up getting out here because what it did, it claimed the 9 moving average. And this is what I use on all of these trades. I'm using the 9 moving average. If the 9 claims, then my trade plan is dead. No, that's it. So I went ahead and took it off here. I'm sorry. I went ahead and took it off here because it was claiming it. And that stopped, that took me out. So I went ahead and got this 10 cents. I went ahead and booked it. It kind of hurt. It helped my loss here. This loss was a lot bigger, but I ended up losing $6 plus the commissions on it. So you see I had 8 tickets, and commissions just pretty much wiped me out. I lost more in commissions than I actually made, for net profit. And it was all because of that one silly mistake I made. And it's going to happen. You can't be down at yourself. You can't get mad at yourself. I'm not mad at myself because I did the right thing. I just made a mistake. And I wasn't experienced at putting in hard stops because I just never do it. It's not something that I do. So, I just have to make sure that when I do it the next time, that I make sure that I put the right price in. I won't make that same mistake twice, that's for sure. But that was it for me today. I only picked up $24.50. But I am green. I didn't go backwards. And that's what it's all about. Whatever I get, hell, tomorrow, I might can make $175. You never know. We just have to wait and see how the market, opens up. There were no opening range breakouts or breakdowns that I could have taken. Well, there was one, but the volume wasn't there and it kept me out of it. And that would have been a big trade. But hopefully we'll get some good hits in the morning, because that's where I make the most money, is in the first 30 minutes on these opening range breakouts or breakdowns. And then these secondary trades throughout the day really don't give me a whole lot, but everything adds up. So that was it for me today. There's one thing I do want to share. This is the platform that I use. Right here, this is how I can find out whether something's shortable or not. It's like MBLY, it's shortable. This will tell me if there's a margin restriction. If it's 0%, then we've got full margin. So we look at BSPM, there are no shares to short, so it's not shortable. And if we go long, we can only use 30% of our buying power. So this is what stays up all day and lets me know anytime I see I have something hit my scanner, I can type it in, and if it says I can't short it and it's setting up for a top reversal, I won't waste my time going after it, because this will tell me right here. And then in the morning, I'll know the stocks on my watch list. I type in, I'll see if SureTrader has a restriction on it and whether it is shortable. So that's just something I added to my my platform. You also see I only have one stock. I only watch one stock at a time. I only trade one stock at a time. So whichever one I decide is hitting first and I want to trade, that's what I trade. I've got the 5-minute chart because this is the chart that I use to manage my trades. I've got the 2-minute chart, which will help me enter once the 5-minute chart sets up. This gets me in so that I don't have to wait for another 5-minute candle to print. This is the 60-minute, which helps me see what the trend is for that day. And this is the daily. So this gives me an overall feeling for what the trend is. Everything pointed short when I shorted this MBLY. So all of that gave me conviction that this short trade was going to work. Just so happens the market didn't help me out. It tried, but it didn't. And this trade didn't work well. So that was it for me today. Hopefully we have some good trades tomorrow. And, I'll be back at the end of the day. And, if I have any trades, and I'll go over them then. So everybody have a great evening, a great night, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning in chat.